is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here and we are ready to bring you guys the awesome action today. This is the ALG Masters League finale. This is the grand finals. It's going to spread over a best of 3 series, maybe even 2, and it's going to be brought to you guys by me and my boy Connie. So Connie, take it away. Tell us how you're feeling today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling fantastic. Of course, it is nighttime here in the UK, but it doesn't matter. Time never stops for me, and I do not stop to wait around. Now, of course, it is the grand finals today. 2 months of pure Call of Duty action have come to an apex today, and I couldn't be more excited to be joined here, of course, with Chase. And, of course, it has been a long and winding road. We really have enjoyed our time here to, dare I say it, finally reach this point. It's beautiful, you know. We've put a lot of effort into this, as well as the owners and, the backbone of the admins and staff. Seeing this work come to fruition is a beautiful sight, but more importantly, there are 2 teams right now competing for that coveted $1,000 prize. Now, as far as things are looking, we're feeling pretty good. Chase definitely is feeling pretty good, but right now, the map selection, of course, is going to be a tricky one. We, of course, are going to be having Gunrunner, Arklov Peak, Gunrunner, Hackney Yard, and St. Petrograd. It's going to be a beautiful one, and, well, dare I say it, Chase, definitely not usual to see, back-to-back Gunrunner, Arklov, you know, it really is a basic map selection, if anything.
Yeah, it's a map selection that I feel like favors when you come to the respawn. I think it favors the side of violence. It's a map that they played pretty much all throughout their series, in the semifinals and in the quarterfinals. I believe they played it maybe 3 times each in the quarters and in the semis to get here. So it's one that they've seen a lot of practice on, a lot of comfort on. But that Search and Destroy, we both know we can never count out ADS Gaming because they are the undefeated team in the league when it comes to S&D. And now what's the question? What's the question we have to ask when it comes to an undefeated record, Connie?
Well, the question you have to ask really is, will it be beaten? Will it be broken? Well, today is the day we're going to find out, of course. ADS and Violence. Now, Violence have been pretty much invincible the entire time. We've definitely talked about players in the squad that have changed maps before. G and Alu, of course, being 2 of which are up for contention for the MVP prize. And, ADS as well. I've got players as well to match that. But I think if you look at their run specifically, I mean, ADS have, played standard league matches and playoffs without losing S&D. Can mean one thing, 40% of a series. If this goes to a game 5, ADS, your money has to be on them. But as far as this goes, anything can happen in a grand final. Imagine playing, though, of course, a best of 3 series, 5-map series, best of 3. We're going to be seeing this, happen today, tomorrow, and if needed on Friday. It really isn't going to be any stopping about. So these teams will really get to know each other, which I don't think we see before in a regular format, Chase.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way of playing things out. It's a format that I think we've seen before in sports, kind of, in mainstream sports, where you have a few different days of matches that kind of unfold. But for this sort of style of play with the different kind of series, it's new. It's definitely new, and it's something that teams need to kind of adapt around. And hopefully these teams have started to already adapt around it throughout the rest of playoffs. And going into now the grand finals, there's a ton of change that comes to these formats. You saw it in the CDL, how things changed in the grand finals there. It was like a best of 7, I think, right? In that situation, teams had to change up and have a new plan. Now, how does the plan work out for teams like, for instance, Violence, who don't need to... well, actually, neither of these teams need a bracket reset, so never mind that. I thought there would be a bracket reset opportunity. But going into these maps and going into this series as a whole, so this is a part of these 3 days, what team here do you think has the edge? What team do you think is going to take the win? Is it going to be the 1st seed or the 4th seed?
I'm automatically, I've got this inclination.
Third seed, sorry.
I don't look at the seed, and these are the best 2 teams in the whole league right now. They've made it to the grand finals, but I cannot pick a winner here because they've both done so well on either end of the spectrum. It's a shame we haven't seen a matchup before, but not at the same time, because now we're going to be seeing what they're really capable of and what they're really made of. Are these guys cut from the same cloth? Can they play COD, to a high enough level? Well, bear in mind, $1,000 is a lot of money, and of course, near the end of the Modern Warfare season, entering into Cold War, this is just a nice little incentive, really, to get things going and to really boost your bank accounts, if you know what I mean, Chase.
Oh, for sure. Everybody loves a nice little boost to their bank account, and definitely these teams are going to walk away with not just the boost of the bank accounts, but a boost of their egos and their prides going into Cold War, which is going to be a very interesting situation for a lot of amateur teams out there, amateur teams going into these amateur leagues in an online sense. But now we're going to be bringing you guys the action as the map is loading up right now. This is going to be your first look at Team Violence up against ADS Gaming.
Dare I say it, Chase, a beautiful one to start off with in Gunrunner. Sunny, beautiful, and dare I say it, scintillating. But now, it's going to go off right now, as we're going to be seeing Team Violence get the first two trades coming in and ADS returning fire. Of course, it's going to be Violence right now. Holding that good spawn means one thing, playing defensive, but making sure that, well, ADS Gaming don't get any time off of this P1 is crucial. But right now, they're breaking through the right-hand side. You're seeing the flip-flops in the kill feed. We are seeing ADS break through from near enough every single lane right now. One player right there on the huge flank will not, of course, find anybody home, and well, dare I say, Chase, off the break, it really is Violence right now shutting down in the kill feed. Definitely not a surprise, but against ADS, a little bit surprising itself.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's more than it looks like the kill feed that we really pay attention to, but it ends up being the mini map. I feel like that's the main point of contact, the main thing that we need to cover. And on the mini map, you guys just saw the red arrows had actually made their way into those spawns. They caught the team of Team Violence slipping and overextending onto that middle point and losing that really crucial spawning. So now we're going to see ADS Gaming looking like they're in a better position here, but we've seen these guns on the side of Team Violence fry. And frying is what is happening right now, as we see the side of Team Violence with opposing going 5-4 right there. But we're looking at the kills department. It's Team Violence very well spread out, but there still is aim and hype going off for the side of ADS Gaming. Two of, if not the top best players on the side of ADS Gaming going into this series, Connie.
Well, definitely, of course, there are some MVPs in contention here right now, but the scoreline is very close. We are going to be seeing lots of contention, lots of congestion right now around this P2 hill, which can be classed as a money hill. Right now, Violence, of course, they didn't get the initial, but they are finding some scrap time here, which can be crucial. But ADS Gaming are coming constantly with some scraps, and dare I say it, some contests. Now, in this game, contests mean everything. You can contest 30, 40 seconds at a time, and right now we are, of course, seeing ADS Gaming playing that long rope game. But right now, P3 coming up pretty hot right now. We are going to be seeing ADS again getting initial here. We see a roll of another Violence takeover. These boys do not hold back. They do not keep down for anyone right now. But then again, it's going to be AIM with the Ram again. He has been a stellar player with this gun, and in particular across the whole of playoffs with this gun. Nobody else really has clocked on to the potential that this gun has, and more or less a player that is using it, and it has gotten him out of some very sticky situations, especially domination. You will be seeing him use that. But right now, the pressure is coming in, and Violence themselves are looking to break through. Kill feed though is still very much anyone's game. We're seeing a lot of free pieces, a lot of breaks, but it really is more or less Elevate's game right now. We're going to be seeing ADS just keep it in here, keep it tight, but the way Elevate, or should I say, Violence themselves, trying to elevate themselves, we are going to be seeing more or less, a very, very hard push through a single lane, and that lane is going to be Coal Side, Chase.
Yeah, Coal Side is definitely the side where the point is, and that's the one that's going to be the most important. But right now, as we have 10 seconds left of that point, we're going to really look to seeing how this tree side actually gets how the tree side goes, as right now you're gonna see that's number 0 trying to make it in the back line, not gonna get there, as we're gonna try to swap onto a player that's doing some work here, and that's gonna be AIM at the moment, going 10-10. Next to him is Hype, who's at 13-9, doing an absolutely demolition of the side of Team Violence. But unfortunately, players like Naruto, one of the shining stars on this ADS Gaming team, just not heating up like we've seen him heat up before. And you know who is heating up though, Connie? That's going to be Alu. Alu, one of the most nastiest players in the entire league, and I may say it with a little bit of bias, but his stat line does prove to be worthy of MVP status at the end of the day, as right now he is topping his team and the leaderboard with 13 kills. But now it's going to be looking over to Hype after he gets himself a few massive kills. He's going to be sitting at the top with 15. As some of these players, you know, Swish a little underperforming right now, but he is overperforming in terms of when you compare him to Naruto. And Naruto, he needs to start warming up. He needs to start making a difference in this map, and like we've seen him do time and time again in series. And or else we're going to be going into a Search and Destroy with Team Violence looking like they're in the driver's seat. But right now, so much more time left in this hard point, and so much time and so little points on both of these sides. None of them breaking 100 yet, Connie. But who do you think is going to break 100 points first?
Doesn't really matter to me right now. Of course, we are just seeing a lot of Team Violence pushing through and a lot of ADS just, you know, playing a defensive game. Bear in mind, both of these teams are very pressing. They're very attack-minded. You know, we see Alu break for a lot through the back of most hills, especially on this map right now in this series. We're seeing him take the P2 and P5 like, of course, it is his life, you know. But we are then again going to be heading into the P1 more or less with a Violence lead right now. Only a 20-point difference, as you said earlier. You know, very close, very tight-knit, but it means one thing. These teams, more or less, are just playing positioning. They're not necessarily playing to kill all the time. Of course, there are some starlets in either side right now. They've got some amazing stat lines, but that means nothing right now. It's the Routemen right now that are finding all the presence and all the power, you know. But as far as things are going to be said and done, you know, I mean, smokes can block spawns. We're not seeing a lot of utility being thrown down right now. I can imagine, you know, even dare I say it, a scoreline, you know, it doesn't even reach the apex of 250. You know, we could be seeing a match finish early. You know, or as far as these teams are playing the game anyway, it really comes down to one thing, and that is who can get a nice edge here going into the second set of hills. Violence themselves have got that edge, but ADS, you know, as far as things are going to be going, not out of the game at all by any means. They're just trying to keep things nice and tight. And as far as things are said and done, keep an eye on AIM again with the Ram. He will be your key player here, and he'll be breaking through Chase like, of course, it is the last thing in life he does not want to do.
Ooh, unfortunate right there, as it looks like Hype got himself turned on right there by the player up in the rafters. And that's going to be a Team Violence sitting on this point, setting up nicely, and you know, just looking to fortify it. As Killua drops in with a two-piece, make that 3. Now, will we see a return fire from opposing? He's only going to get 1 before getting taken out, and that's going to be ADS Gaming finding themselves with a 3-point. As they're going to just grab 1 more kill there and continue to stack on into this point and continue to stack on time and knock on time as G. He's going to jump on in, getting a massive kill right there on the player on the corner. And he's now going to help his teammates try to secure this point for more time, as this point's being passed back and forth like the B flag on St. Petrograd domination, as things are absolutely fire right now. We're gonna be going over to this next point. This is P number 3 with Team Violence on the point right now, grabbing the time early, but one player is gonna be in the back contesting that all, and that's gonna be number 8. He's gonna get taken out. Number 9 is gonna be there to catch it. So that's gonna be Dawn playing that power point over by the cart. Now, what can the rest of these ADS Gaming players do in trying to retake this hill from Coleside?
Well, as far as Coleside right now, they're pushing through, they're all dying. No, the kill feed there for a second was all yellow, and that means one thing right now. ADS are spawning out. They're not finding really anything. They're just finding a certain amount of pressure. But, you know, if players splitting off, you know, taking things in these one-on-one gunfights, they're not actually getting any time. We are more or less going to be seeing just certain behaviors and certain habits come up again. Of course, we are seeing players on the side of Team Violence sort of pressed forward a little bit too much, losing their lives. ADS themselves are capitalizing on it right now. But a player in the form of Naruto, not really doing too stellar at the moment. I mean, usually we see him fry, especially he's been an S&D star for this team and really has taken over most of the maps when it comes to that game mode. Respawn, though, struggling a little bit, Chase, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic, like you said, for us to see Naruto in this light. He is number 2 on the MVP rankings, and he's number 2 and obviously on his team's rankings as well. But right now, not playing like his ranking suggests, playing as a bottom player in the entire lobby. Now over on the side of Team Violence, this is what I love out of Team Violence, is everybody sort of shares the wealth. All of their players around the same level of kills. There's not really one shining too far amongst the others, except right now, you know, the difference between Opposing and August is getting pretty big here, 10 kill difference, but man, Opposing definitely earning his stripes that he has right now, as he's sitting there with a 30 bomb and 1 minute of hill time, absolutely disposing of all the trash on the map from the ADS Gaming players. And right now, Team Violence even set to be breaking the 200 mark in this hard point, but holy moly, is it a close one right now, Connie? Is it a close one?
Again, Violence have reset again. Well, overtaking the 200-point mark can mean one thing right now. Only 50 points, one hill will win you this match. The players on ADS Gaming are breaking through quite nicely. And there's one there. It's going to be Don. He unfortunately dies. Takes his own life there, unfortunately. But we are seeing Violence still hold on. Contests are coming in. ADS are fighting back. But they're spawning so far out. And all Violence needs to do is set up 2 nasty ARs to watch this cross. And, of course, ADS are not touching this hill. But then again, they're actually playing a lot around this front boxes area. And it's going to be players in the form of Alu, Opposing, and August trying to keep things nice and composed. G right now is playing more around the outside. You know, he's seeing players scouting him, getting information. And information is not out of luck because ADS are, well, running through the middle. They're sort of taking things in their own stride, but now they're spawning up outside the P1. They're going to be the first players there, but then again, Violence are not going to let that happen, Chase, at all.
Oh, Violence are... they're looking like they want to end it on this P1, on this third rotation of hills. And this could be a massive one. A massive... first opening map, first opening, you know, respawn game type win. And this is going to set a really harsh tone for the side of ADS Gaming going into this search and destroy. Obviously, they're undefeated in S&D, but still, you want to be going into that map with a lead as Team Violence are able to win this one 250 to 188. Big shining stars over on the side of Team Violence as they all share in the wealth of kills. But at the end of the day, I think Opposing really shined the brightest for us in this opening map, right, Connie?
He looked very comfortable on the sticks, dare I say. The man was in fact shooting back at all times. But, you know, I think everyone on Violence definitely had a role there to play, a lot of routing, a lot of passion. But, again, they were losing those initials, Chase. They were losing 20, 30 seconds off the first set of hills. And that really was where ADS took their strengths and played them to a T.
Yeah, at the end of the day, both of these sides, you know, have things to clean up in the hard point. It could really go either way in the next following hard point if we do see a map 4. But Connie, on the cards tonight, we have a Arklov Peak Search and Destroy to come up next after our little ad break. Who do you think is going to take it?
Probably ADS Gaming.
Oh,
Undefeated,
boy.
Undisputed.
Well, we will see if that comes to fruition after our little ad break, folks. But please stick around because we'll be right back.
Of course, going to be heading into the second map shortly. But after that first one right there, stellar performance from Violence. Just to catch up on things right there, was a 250, 188. Very, very tight. P5, of course, secured them that win. But as far as things were going, Chase, it really came down to one thing. That really was the pressing power of the Slayers in the form of G, Alu, and Opposing. They really shut things down through the middle. And dare I say, actually capitalizing the money hills despite losing a lot of that initial time.
Yeah, that is sort of how things played out, isn't it, Connie? But right now, we're going to be jumping into a Search and Destroy, and this is going to be a spicy one, as we all know that ADS Gaming is undefeated so far.
Undefeated, definitely right now. We are going to be seeing more or less an Arklov Peak, their favourite map by a long shot. But as far as the setup goes right now, we are going to be seeing Team Violence themselves spread around the map a little bit. Heavy influence on that A-bomb site, but with one flanking through B. This important gunfight right here on the right side really will dictate the pressure of which either team can actually put on each other. Because they play a lot of pressing, a lot of long-range gunfights. And, you know, the ARs on, you know, ADS Gaming have got a lot going for them. You've got Aim again, who's very, very gifted, you know. Llama, unfortunately, is out for this match. We are going to be seeing instead a man in the form of Don take him over. Fingers crossed he has a good performance here and actually impresses on, well, the most important match of, well, the entire league, the grand final. But right now, we're going to be seeing a very, very heavy stack day. We are going to be seeing a lot of people in ADS Gaming playing around that trench. I see 3 dots right there, keeping their eyes together. But again, 2 players from Violence will drop. So maybe this will work quite nicely. As we go into now the 2v5, players from Violence are dropping like flies. And, you know, it really is a very stiff first round right there. Nobody died from the side of Violence, but very commanding there. Well, dare I say it, the entire round, Chase.
It was a pretty one-sided map. Well, one-sided map, make that a one-sided round. As once that bomb planter got taken out over by B on their island, the rest was history. And ADS Gaming just played that one perfectly. And wow, I don't know what else to really expect from the side of ADS Gaming except for the perfection that we just saw right there. That a perfect round of them. They're still flawless on the day in terms of Search and Destroy. They have a, what is it, like 3 or 4 undefeated, like, not undefeated, but like 6-0 Search and Destroy wins on their belt as well. So now this one, it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to continue their, you know, 6-0s and maybe get a 6-0 on the over the side of Team Violence and really shut them up after that first opening hard point. But right now we're seeing Team Violence playing with a lot more swagger in their step here as they're keeping things a lot closer, getting players off of the map from the side of ADS Gaming, and now we're seeing ourselves in the 3 versus 3 with them on defense. Now, ADS Gaming is going to get another kill. That's going to be Naruto, a massive one, forcing these 2 players to now maybe rethink and replay their angles here. As we're going to see if I can jump on to number 3. That's going to be Switch. He's going to be playing in the back here, and he's going to get taken out by Don, one of the interesting players to you know, pick up for this final to play it. As we all know, ADS Gaming have Don and Llama as that they swap out here and there in their matches, and to pick out Don over Llama, that was interesting there. And now, can the 1 versus 2 happen here? As Opposing is left in a situation where he's going to have to defuse, and he's going to maybe look to play the kill on Don here. He's going to swing out, and that's the kill. Can he make it over the bomb? He will in time, so the 1 versus 2 is going to end up going the way of Team Violence after Opposing plays so phenomenally well. Really has a strategy that he thinks up of in the 1 versus 2 on the fly and plays to his strengths and plays it through perfectly to a T, Connie.
Definitely a good round there, of course. Very, very intense in the 1v1. Nobody likes the 1v1, well, specifically the Arklov Peak map, but he played that to perfection and got himself a round in the books. I don't see him putting any pressure on ADS, of course. Being undefeated in S&D is a trait, you know. I definitely would say they have more, strategic plays coming out of them. As far as Violence, though, they tend to stick more or less to 1 strat, maybe even 2. You know, as ADS can whip out 20 on the book, on the fly. But as far as things are going to be going right now, another heavy A with a flank through the middle is going to be, of course, Swish taking control of things right there and finding that first blood on Naruto. Very, very huge here as another player's going to push to the right. And again, it's going to be a trade coming in hot now. A 4v3 in favor of ADS Gaming. Players right now positioned all around his A-bomb site, but there's opposing right there. He finds one. Will he get the second trench? No, he won't. Will he maybe? Yes, fingers crossed. No, he will not indeed. As now the 1v3. Swish stuck all alone inside that broken building and Bomb already down. It's only going to be one gunfight, but again, Swish wins it there. Comfortable shots from him. He is taking control of things right there. But there comes the sniper. It's going to be coming now. Don and Aim versus Swish. Now he gets a sniper of his own. Will he see the player though pushed up around the backside? He knows he's there. He knows he's there. But it comes down to one thing. Who gets the first shot off? Who gets the first kill? But with players positioned on either side of the map, it's going to be the man himself. He takes him down. ADS Gaming wins 2-1 chase.
Man, Connie, what an intense round there, and definitely one that Killua is going to remember, as he almost got himself the ace in that in that 1 versus 3. He was the first to drop in it to Swish, but he took out all 4 of his teammates. That was quite impressive from the trench position, and it's one to take note of, especially when you're looking at ADS Gaming. If it's a round they won in the end off of such great just gun skill from him in the tough position when he was approached by, 2 players to the face, and then even got 2 more at long range. What a great showing from Killua in that round. But Hype still sitting on a donut on the side of ADS Gaming, the only player with the donut there, and G and August sitting on donuts for the side of Team Violence. Which of these 3 players will relinquish their donut and get themselves a kill? That will be one to see for me. And over on the side of Team Violence, it looks like G's going to stick with his donut, as opposing is going to get a kill, and G's going to get taken out by Aim. August gets a kill in the mix, so he's going to lose his. As Hype stays dead, G stays dead, we're going to see ourselves in a 2 versus 3 here, with ADS Gaming in favor, and with the bomb, I might add, as Naruto is going to be moving that bomb over to B, with the protection from Aim, who's going to get the kill on opposing, and August going to drop, not August going to drop, I think. Wait, he might have dropped at the end there to the last player. I was correct. It was the sniper, though, from Dawn, who he has finished off the last player in 2 rounds in a row now with his sniper. That's got to get him a lot of comfort and a lot of confidence, right, Connie?
Well, confidence right now definitely is going to be key right now. 3-1 either side. I do have a favourite. If they go to 4-1 now, then it definitely will landslide into an ADS victory here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves right now and actually see how things play out. Again, we are going to be seeing players, though, that are really outperforming right now. It's going to be G right now, currently 0-4, not really getting any presence down. But then again, against ADS Gaming, you will understand one thing. They are one of the best S&D teams here. In fact, probably the best. Being undefeated is no feat, or no easy feat. And they really do tend to stick to that right now. As we look at things, snipers are going to play a key role here right now. Don right now is taking control. Players infoed right now in trench, going to push forward, but Don opts to sit back right now, play at Grandma's house, and he will play it to a T near or less. We are going to be seeing more or less ADS Gaming take it right now. Unfortunately, 3v3 right now. On Arklov Peak, I do fancy the boys in ADS. Their setups are a little bit more comfortable. Violence are stuck in that trench. Players are swarming them and surrounding them from more or less any exit point. But with bomb in hand, they do have a favor something. But Don is going to play the information game here. He hasn't seen any players yet right now. But then again, August will find him, and it's going to be, of course, a 2v2 right now. As players now press it on either side, it's going to be down to Aim and Naruto to really take down these Team Violence players. As Bomb is going to get, well, dare I say it, near or less put down. I don't think actually they got up now. We're however going to be seeing them put it down near enough now. Aim right now left in a 1v2. He will, of course, win that gunfight. Aim comes in with a huge 1v2. Body shots going down. He is not here to play. He is here to win, and he's won that comfortably. Some stiff shots with the AR, and right now, Chase, a 4-1 lead for ADS Gaming.
Oh my lord, this is just adding insult to injury here, as the side of Team Violence get absolutely sprayed out, all their dead bodies. So many holes in them. They're all looking like Swiss cheese now after all those bullets. And Aim, well-deserved round as well for him, as he clutches up the 1 versus 2 in phenomenal fashion, showing us why he is the #1 contender for that MVP title at the end of the playoffs, at the end of everything in this Masters League, Connie. Now, going into the next one, like you said, if you saw ADS Gaming go up 4-1, you think it's going to be over. Now, do you think it is over completely.
It is looking that way, to be fair. 4-1, I mean, against ADS Gaming is like climbing Everest without an oxygen tank, you know. It really is a mountain. And as far as things are looking, ADS are repeating the same strats right now and seeming to find victories. Violence, again, know that there's going to be gunfights in trench. They know that there's going to be snipers watching over the cross, but nobody's playing that B. And in fact, this time ADS have set up for one flanking through middle. That player right there sat at the back of the map is literally watching one lane. That's going to be the hard flank right now to pinch round 2. However, Naruto is chilling in middle. He's going to probably find an engagement here to his liking. Does in fact, did he see August right there? He did see August right there, but getting a bit too greedy there with the shots. That means one thing, his position is exposed, and players from Violence can now press up a little further, thinking, oh, there's only one player here, you know. We can keep our eyes a little bit more peeled. But if Violence want to win this one, aggressive, use of utility needs to happen. The aggression is there, but the utility to hide them and really keep them hidden is, well, not there. Again, we're going to be seeing more or less Violence take things a little bit more abrasive. You know, their approach, nonetheless, will find them, of course, get blooded twice there as Hype comes in and he takes away all the hype from Alu and August, 2 of our MVP candidates right here. But as he plays the trench, Naruto comes in for a third. A 5v2 situation will come to play. As bomb goes down, ADS look to close this one out. And right now, we are going to be seeing a 2v4 landslide here, as Violence will try their hardest to get things done, Chase. I'm not too sure right now as to really who is going to take this one. But then again, ADS, I shouldn't have doubted them. 5-1 win right there.
One more round that needs to go the way of ADS Gaming for this Search and Destroy to be decided, and for ADS Gaming to still retain their undefeated streak in Search and Destroys. But unfortunately, Connie, I think we both know through that this best of 5 isn't, you know, all about the Search and Destroy. It's important to win them, but you need to be able to take away one other map in the respawn, and will ADS Gaming be able to take away a respawn? That, I feel like, is going to decide their fate in this one, because Search and Destroy, you know, you see it once in the first 4 maps. You're not gonna see it unless you go to a map 5, and that can be a massive killer for a team to be only good at one game mode. And ADS Gaming, they're doing great right now in sort of covering all the different angles and places where this Violence team could be hanging out, but they're not doing so good in the lives department as things get evened up, but then taken back down to a lead for ADS Gaming, or lead for Team Violence, and that's going to be a round for Team Violence, as maybe, just maybe, a bit of a reverse sweep is on the cards for today's Search and Destroy.
Try and sell that boat as much as they like, but, you know, 2-5 against ADS is such a mountain. I repeat it over and over again because it is. It's a serious mountain. And right now, if you really want to make that comeback, some things need to change. Stop pushing that A. Make sure your B is covered. At least if you want to flank through the middle, info each other, because these players are sort of pushing out every single time, you know. It's sort of like they're playing peekaboo against ADS Gaming, and it's not really going their way. But, you know, repeating the same strategies again and again and again has worked for ADS nonetheless, and their strategy, of course, is to get 2 first bloods. But with the sniper in hand, it's going to be Don again. He's going to try and find some presence here, but finally, Smoke is going to get thrown down. Don is now taken out of action, and we're going to be seeing Team Violence right now just push around through, well, every lane they can. A player, of course, is going to chill all the way down here in Trench. Gunfight will take place there pretty soon, but as Naruto finds a kill, it's going to be another 5v4 situation, and Team Violence again are caught in another situation that they're very familiar with, and that's going to be Bloods. But as far as things are going to be taken care of, we're going to be seeing no presence here in mid, of course, apart from AIM, who's chilling, but then they're going to play it to his right. We're looking for down. Alu there finds a nasty 2-piece. We are going to be seeing a shift of momentum. We're going to be seeing more or less a 4v5 in favor of 4v3, sorry, in favor of Violence. More again, opposing finds another one there, and again he finds a second. Opposing takes care of business, and Alu really taking over that round. 3-5 Chase. Am I swallowing my words? This game or this map? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, right now, there's momentum seems to be in Violence's court after 2 rounds, so you know we could see it. I don't want to, you know, push the envelope, so to say, on this Search and Destroy, but quite frankly, from an entertainment standpoint, we're seeing a lot of it across both of these teams. They're both showing that they can compete against each other in Search and Destroy. Obviously, ADS Gaming looking the better in the series score right now on this Search and Destroy. But Team Violence, they're definitely not a team to count out in Search and Destroy, even up against the Titans or the the Immortals that are ADS Gaming. And right now, we're seeing it as ADS Gaming. They are going to find the opening kill here. That's going to be a kill onto G. And over on the side of ADS Gaming, What other kills can they bring their way? It looks like they're not going to get any more as for the time being, except for Dawn with his sniper. Can he flick onto the opposing? He can't, as opposing gets himself 2 kills this round. Naruto's going to get himself 2 as well to answer back. Now in the 1 versus 3, it is opposing having to do it all. Oh my god, I held my breath. I screamed for a second, but ADS Gaming, they still had it in the bag there in the 3 versus 1. As Naruto cleans things up, getting himself the 3rd kill for himself on that round, and nearly dying to opposing right there. That would have been an absolute shell shocker, but they get it done, and that's going to even things out at 1 apiece. And we see Naruto end up turning around a not-so-good scoreline we saw in map number 1 to something successful in map number 2, giving himself the man of the map. And, you know, Connie, what are your expectations going into this domination? Do you think domination could go to either team because it's that type of a game type? You know, not too many teams practice it often. Or do you find that Violence is still so much better than than ADS Gaming when it comes to slaying and respawn, coming off of that hardpoint win?
Well, Chase, this is where I put all my cards and chips on the table here and ask you this question. Being our coveted stat man, who out of these 2 teams would you say has actually won more dominations? You know, I'm seeing Violence as the better respawn team, but you know better than me here. Would you say Violence or ADS, nonetheless, have got the proof in the pudding?
They actually both have an even score line when it comes to, or stat line for domination. So, you know, it could go either way, I think, in my opinion.
That's really good. But as far as my own opinion, I do think that maybe, as far as Nerves and Pressure have something to say about it, Violence will probably have the respawn edge here a little bit. But, you know, as far as this, it really comes down to the confidence on the map right now. ADS have probably got the better S&D out of the 2. That is realistically a fact. And as far as Violence go on respawn, domination, you know, it really is a more tactical game mode. You know, the balance is going to be really, really down to it. You know, it comes down to who's a better strong side as well. It comes down to how well can the ARs have presence over that B flag. It comes down to as well, not flipping out too much, flipping out the right times, because, you know, certain spawn points can actually throw teams off for a minute or 2, and that can lose you around a good 24 to 20 points, Chase. So I'll probably say it really comes down to what happens in the first half. That's ultimately going to predict the whole map. Gunrunner is very consistent in that matter. We're seeing a lot of teams, and we're going to see it again. But as far as things are going, I do believe we're going to be heading into map shortly. Let's take things into our own hands and run a quick ad. We'll see you very shortly, guys.
Yes, ciao, ciao, folks. Be right back. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I was muted for just a second right there, and it made me look super silly, but here we go. We are going into this domination now with the score leveled. And Connie, what are your expectations for the domination, Gunrunner?
Pure strategy of the first 2 minutes. We're either going to be seeing every single fiber of these teams push B for the first 2 minutes, or we're going to be seeing flip. I don't recommend a flip, though, on the first 2 minutes, but it has happened before in this league, and we are going to be seeing more or less players actually see, well, how badly they can outstay each other. Two of the most attack-minded, fast teams in the league going at it. It's going to be quite exciting. But then again, as these players come to cap the home flag, it's going to be G and AIM to be in charge, more or less captain these boys to what I like to call the first 3 minutes of the map, which basically dictate, well, the scoreline of anything but the plays. But so far, we're going to be seeing players on ADS actually wipe out Violence, and it's a very quick B take here. Now, this means one thing. These players can actually push around C, play that, keep them far back, because you do not want Violence, anywhere near A at this point. But right now, ADS are looking pretty crisp and pretty comfortable. As far as things are going to be said and done, players right now, like Naruto, we play on the left side, as he now is going to control things and take out these Violence players pushing. The kill feed is all red. Players are split right now for decision. But again, it's going to be another retake here. Players from Violence are finding their passion, and they are finding their routes all the way through to B. But then again, A is still in favor here. And, ADS Gaming actually are getting the electrical chase to their advantage.
Yeah, if I now looking back at the stats, guys, and seeing the matches that unfolded last week, I am going to be able to confirm that there is VOD footage of how both of these teams like to play Gunrunner domination. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams might mix up their playstyle, or if they keep their playstyles, and it's going to be interesting to see who's really done their homework on who. Because right there off the break, we saw ADS's Naruto go for his sort of standard spot. That is going to be that lockers area, and that is his home. That's where he was able to build himself, I believe, an 8-kill streak in one of last week's domination series that he had for the semifinals for his team. And now that's his bread and butter spot on this map. If you guys can lock down that area and take him out and set him behind, I feel like that's going to be one of the big swings for Team Violence to look out for. And on the side of Team Violence, there's quite a few tendencies we see from, Alu to August, where they like to go and play, and I think we all also remember how important it was for AIM to continue to be a pest over by C. So now it's going to be interesting to see how things get to play out in the end, how that homework kind of is done, and if it was done. As right now, we do see ADS Gaming looking quite good in this domination to start things off, Connie.
Well, then again, we are seeing one thing, and that is one consistent thing throughout this map. We are going to be seeing Big Flag change hands more time than, well, a lot of inappropriate things that I could say right now. But as far as things are going, we're going to be seeing more or less control. We are going to be seeing Team Violence start to really kick into action right now and really kick into what to perform. But, it really comes down to one thing. I'd say more or less people, but is that August right now? Is he currently 0-8? I can't see that right now chasing the screen fully, but confirm it to me right now.
Yeah, he is going
oh, wow.
0-8.
That is something right now. Of course, thank you, Chase. But as far as August right now going 0-8, they're still finding some form. Maybe I could down to one thing, but we found a kill there. And as far as ADS right now, while taking things, it's going to be another AB setup, I think Violence has been stuck on C flag the entire 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody really has wrapped around to A to try and make the move to get, a more comfortable position, because these teams are attack-minded. You really want the A flag. You really want to make sure that your teams can push through and find kills quicker and routes quicker, because, it's just a foot race to see really who can get, the most points. And because these teams are playing it a little bit more aggressive than we usually see, these long-range gunfights mean a lot, and that's going to be G right now. And a little two-spree, taking things into his own hands. He's going to play more or less for distraction right now, getting players from ADS off of that B so that his teammates can get onto there. But right now, they are going to pinch around and find it. But right now, as the kill feed is all going to be red, yellow starts kicking there a little bit. But, the players are spawning out. Players from Violence are wiped from Forest. And again, they're going to be reset again here on C. Chase, what really is going on?
I don't think I could have said it any better myself about how chaotic this has been so far of a map, of a B flag, for sure. As, like you said before, that A flag is so important. That teams playing from C seem to be at such a huge disadvantage, and we've seen this time and time again. Teams that win from C side, it's one of the rarest things to spot, especially on this map, for instance, as ADS Gaming are doing a phenomenal job at keeping this Team Violence side really posted up over at C. But right now with the flag over in Team Violence's hands, by the flag I mean B flag, it looks like that lead's gonna get cut down quite a bit here going into the second half. But still, ADS Gaming finding so much comfort. I don't know how Team Violence is gonna be able to, play into the second half, Connie.
Well, second half right now, ADS, of course, have got a nice little lead here. Bear in mind, they had that good side. With Violence in hand at a good side, we are going to be seeing more or less a bit of a shift here because, the pressure was pretty much packed on there. Here's Alu's nice little triple to really end off things. I really think we are going to be seeing more pressure from Violence at the break. They definitely have power to really sweep things over because off the first, ADS really shut them out for the first 45 seconds. But when it comes to Violence themselves, will we see a repeat or will we see it longer? I can't really see them, giving up this match. They're keeping it too close, if anything, to really, give us an incentive to think they're going to be out of it. We are, however, they're going to be seeing what we like to call pressure. And again, it's going to be aimed with the with the Ram, and we're going to be seeing more or less Violence push through the middle here and try to find some gunfights. Opposing there with 2, August with 1. It looks as though ADS are going to be swept and pushed away, and I do think we are going to be seeing a B cap right here chase. Again, it's going to be players like Swish right now. These players Swish rushing around the map and really out of the sight of this B flank. And again, A is untouched, but players from ADS actually are making efforts to find their way, pushing around C and the middle. It's going to be AIM right now, trying to find some presence through this forest. As of course the lead will switch hands, we are going to be seeing some different strategies come out here, Chase, and that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right now the big thing is going to be AIM and whether or not he's going to be able to get into the back behind this A flag and help his team really get a hold of it, as he's gonna get some support getting through this one. That's gonna be hype there, getting one, and AIM is gonna be able to get the big kill. But there's reinforcements right now. Number 2 on your mini map. That's gonna be big, as he's gonna be able to take him out. AIM is gonna be able to neutralize this flag. Can he get the full cap to come through though? As he's not gonna get the full cap to come through, and he won't get any respawns from his teammates over by A. That's gonna be massive in helping Team Violence hold on to that flag, as right now ADS Gaming, they're now backed up against the wall. By the wall we mean C flag, as Team Violence has been able to hold this B flag quite powerfully, not really losing it at all, while this A flag has just continued to stay in their hands untouched, maybe just neutralized for a bit actually, but still so much comfort for the side of Team Violence right now. It's scaring me. And it's even scarier for all the AIM support, ADS Gaming supporters out there, as they are doing a great job. Dawn, 23 kills in the lobby, highest in the lobby, but unfortunately, it's not the kills that determine who wins in the domination. It's the points at the end of the matter, right, Connie?
Well, then again, you're kind of right, but when it comes to this game in particular, very close from the off. And it's more or less going to be who really can flush them out on either side. We are seeing Violence push as a unit here, which of course is great for teamwork and communication. But, if you get 3 wipes from one AR, it really will ruin your day and ruin your night, if even. But we are going to be seeing Violence right now push around a little bit, play for the B. However, one thing that really is concerning me a little bit right now, it's going to be this, right? Violence only with a 10-point lead right now, of course. You may look on the score, but it is in fact the case because they've got 2 flags captured. We are going to be seeing more or less ADS push around, sort of playing the B coal area very comfortably, but when it comes to one player wrapping around from C to A, he's getting taken down every single time. You're seeing the Guppy right now, it's all red, very normal, but with Alu finding that important kill, or if even, Swish finding that important kill, it really is changing things over. Even if G right now isn't having the best of maps, these guys are picking up, they are communicating, and that really is what's separating at the moment. But, the respawn still in anyone's hands right now. Only, of course, a 17-point difference right now. As you see, opposing right now with the AR, looking very, very sharp right now. He will, of course, die to a grenade. And right now, it's going to be players from either side. ADS Gaming, of course, are all alive right now. Unlike Violence right now, with 3 on the board. We're going to be seeing an all-red kill feed right now, and a B neutral coming in right now. This will be huge right now for any pressure or any presence. But again, we're going to be seeing ADS right now looking a little bit lackluster on the B. They're getting to the point of the neutral, but Violence are still getting those 2 ticks They're getting those time. They're getting much out of this. But then again, it's going to be opposing there. He finds one very comfortably. But as ADS puts through, opposing there finds the second. Very, very beautiful from him. Trophy goes down. He now rotates back to cover and track up his teammates. But again, a bit too over-aggressive there. He might lose his position. And that really is crucial right now. As we enter the last minute, it's going to be opposing there on a little spree. He unfortunately drops there too, of course, Dom. And now it's going to be an all-out cluster to try and get this B secured. But of course, Alu looking for it. And I do think a trip cap is on the cards right now. No, they're opting for the 2 cap, 1 neutral. It really will put a pressure because ADS are not getting any time. Violence are running away with the win here.
Connie,
Oh, looking really beautiful for Alu right now as he covers up and really finds some pressure. We are going to be seeing, though, Violence control and take over. It really is going to be one thing right now. Violence look beautiful so far, and it's going to be Alu and opposing and August really controlling it, but specifically opposing there with the 3 and Alu with the 2. Violence Chase take map number 3.
Yeah, the math really checked out early for them as they were able to hold on to 2 flags and have a neutralization on the 3rd. That really spelled a lot of defeat for the side of ADS Gaming, and quite frankly, this was the map. I feel like out of the 3 different game types, that could be the second one for ADS Gaming to win. That they really needed to win, and unfortunately, losing this one really puts a massive dent into their armor, and it looks like that they might be on the loss in 4 might be on the cards for them if ADS Gaming don't win this hard point coming up on Hackney Yard, which is going to be another very interesting map choice, I think, in terms of fast-paced gunfights and a very, I want to say, spawn-dependent map.
Kind of, but that really comes down to the player. Right now, Chase, very quick break. Nothing too long though. We're back shortly for a quick pre-match interlude to make sure that everyone knows what's going on for the next map, the Hackney Yard. But as we get our waters, be right back. Stay tuned and do not miss out. That's all I've got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Heading into number 4 after that last gun runner domination, it really was, dare I say it, Chase, very close from the beginning all the way through to the middle, but at the end, Violence really ran away with it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, you know, it kind of shows how important it is to get good side on the second half, though. That's how I see it. I think, like, if we would have saw ADS Gaming with the good side on second half, it might have been a bit different, but at the end of the day, how the cookie crumbled, it crumbled in the favor of Team Violence. Now, will this hard point crumble in the favor of Team Violence? That we're going to have to figure out, Connie, as we're going to jump right into that gameplay.
Well, jumping in right now, we are, of course, going to be seeing a good side here for the side of Violence as ADS looks to take over here and push through this warehouse. But, of course, Alu and Swish finding the first two and finding even more pressure. It really comes down to one thing. And that one thing right now is, can they hold these spawns off from the grasp of ADS Gaming? As they're pushing through right now, Violence are finding the kills. But ADS is finding some serious passion right now. Done with 2 huge and very quick kills in great succession. Unfortunately, it's going to be Swish there, the man in charge of getting that time. And getting that time, he will try and do. Number 7 there, Aim is looking to try and push through and get these spawns secured. But again, he drops like a fly. And it's going to be Violence right now, really holding it off. Really keeping ADS Gaming at bay here. I'm not used to seeing this, of course, in the 30 seconds. You usually see ADS push through and try and get some presence here inside this warehouse, which they're doing now. We are, however, going to be seeing breaks from their warehouse through the middle. None really breaking through green side. They seem to just headbutt on it, Chase. It does appear that we've got 5 Slayers all looking to try and take things into their own hands in ADS Gaming. Structure right now isn't really their thing. Breaking through from one lane, all 5 of them. We are going to be seeing Violence slide them up like bowling pins, you know?
It is. It's definitely a very topsy-turvy start, but the team that has spawns for this tire shop hill is usually the team that is able to secure it the most time of it, and it's really hard to shake them off. Wouldn't you agree, Connie?
Ali there, the 3-piece, he really is shaking them off, you know. It really comes down to, right now, Violence holding things, and they will try and do that right now. August right now, only 3 engagements. He's looking a little bit too comfortable right now, you know. He isn't really getting out there too much, but with players that slay around as much as they do, he hasn't really got much of a need right now. He just needs to get this P2 time, and because everyone right now on Violence is killing anything in sight. Of course, other than themselves. We are going to be seeing more or less players like Ali right now fly 11 and 3. He is getting very comfortable, but a little bit too over aggressive there. Because Aim right now is setting up for a strong P3. ADS Gaming is going to play around, you know, warehouse green and making sure that back spawn is blocked off the Violet spawn up there. They're in big trouble right now. But there's Alu there with a bit of fancy footwork as he finds the kill. Of course, the stun will not be registering anything anytime soon, but you know, players from ADS are getting a little bit too aggressive right now. And of course, Alu there will be there to meet them in the middle. Fortunately, Don there taking care of him, and Hype there with 2 in quick succession. We're going to be now with Aim right now inside of the hill, looking after it and taking care of any encounters that he might find. We are, however, going to be seeing though players trying playing around it, not really necessarily attacking it too much, because if you can pick up time and get a strong P3, again, it really throws the confidence of Violence a little bit, because they play a lot of what's the word, Chase? I'd say more counter-attacking Call of Duty. They can be really defensive for a second, then they switch it off and run straight to the next hill with 20 seconds to spare. Not really common, but you know, it has been effective for some part, you know.
It's interesting now that Don opts to play for up here, but it looks like that's just going to be a way that he makes like a way he parkours back onto this hill as he finally gets taken out. He is going to be the hill man alongside Killua for the ADS side, as they have 61 points to their name. Team Violence, however, has been doing such a great job at getting points themselves. They're all the way up to 91, but ADS Gaming, where they're lacking on points, they're not necessarily lacking on kills. Is right now it looks like it's just August and G that are at the bottom of the kill feed right now in terms of kills, along with Opposing, who's not playing necessarily the best off the break. But Swish and Alu, they're holding hands and just getting so many kills that it's just been the real they've been the real difference maker for the side of Team Violence. But ADS Gaming, they are not behind by a large margin, as right now they're cutting that lead down, and Naruto is cutting down all those players around the hill, as he's doing it in style, hopping around with that submachine gun, getting himself 3 there, saying goodnight to the sweet princes of the side of Team Violence, as now they're going to have to go spawn out and play for P number 5. Their P number 4, it's going to be comfortably going over to the side of ADS Gaming in terms of the most points. But now going into P number 5, the setup is a bit spread out for the side of Team Violence, and when you have such a spread out setup, it could spoil it for defeat if gunfights early on aren't won, and that's going to be it as right now it's all up to Alu, it looks like, in the point, and he's going to get choked out. But now the reinforcements come in. This is going to be a dire straits situation here, as right now the nades, the utility all comes through. How many more kills can come through for Team Violence, and will the point come through the Team Violence as the spray and pray comes through from one sub to the other? Now the point going to continue to tick, but there is a player in amongst enemy territory, and that player is going to drop his aim. Going to get himself 3 massive kills, and using the M4 uncharacteristically enough, as we've been seeing him use the RAM time and time again. It's kind of interesting that he would choose to put it away for this map. Connie, maybe any kind of idea or details you think maybe would persuade him to put away the RAM for Hackney?
I think, of course, switching off the RAM, of course, is quite an adjustment, considering going from no recoil to an M4 that, just sort of bounces back in your face a little bit. But, I'm really looking into the fact that these players, really are getting out of the comfort zone and playing more, team-based roles. I mean, Alu was the guy who just ran around killing things, but now we're seeing him take a more, tactical approach to things. Not really play his role as such, but he definitely is adapting more or less to his teammates around him, giving them a chance to kill, because, Violence have got a lot of power on this team, and they're just not really, well, dare I say it, braining as much as we saw previously, but now they're certainly making the effort to. But again, bear in mind, these guys had a 60-point lead here coming off the P2. Now they're just fighting really to try and take it back again, I mean, one thing, ADS has played some very strong P3 to P5 off that first rotation. We are now going to be seeing a lot of fights.
Oh my!
There is, wow, Swish.
Oh!
Taking things into his own hands. Real power right there. The M4 shot certainly isn't lacking, but he right now will try and find some more power to get his team across the finish line. Now as they overtake and try and find the lead here, Chase. That was something beautiful there to really get Violence back on that winning side.
Oh my god, my heart was palpitating in that moment, and quite certainly off the side of Swish. That's got to be some sort of a play of the entire league, I think, right there, with his massive 4-piece in the kill cam, or in the kill screen, the kill feed. As I'm stumbling for words, ADS Gaming is stumbling for any traction on this P2 now. After Team Violence were able to just sweep the rug out from under their feet here. And wow, Swish is really turning up, and they're even shooting bodies now, as the side of Team Violence is looking more comfortable than a lolly and a onesie right now. As ADS Gaming, they're now working really hard to try to turn things around after they looked like they had maybe turned things around into their favor coming into that P1 of this second rotation of hills. As Team Violence showing why they're #1 seed in this league by far right here.
I mean, we knew they were good, but we didn't know they were this good at respawn run. I mean, ADS Gaming, of course, probably the better S&D team, as of course on record can show. But I mean, a good side Hackney strikes again. Violence just taking advantage of every single outlet, every single force that they can in this map. And as the kill feed is going to be all yellow, the P4 is going to go into their hands comfortably, as ADS are clustering around the middle here, not very appropriate, because right now Violence are going to sweep you under the rug, as they do every single time. And now we're going to be seeing more or less players right now at ADS push through and try and get some control, but there comes more, as one breaks through there, he will then get taken down again. Opposing, just going to sit in the hill, let his teammates do all the work, as he has a nice little cocktail, enjoys the sunset, and rides off with probably a map win here, Chase. But right now, we are going to be seeing more or less ADS fight back a little bit here, at least.
Well, they're definitely backed up against a wall here when you see AIM bring back out the RAM here, as he wasn't rocking it up until now. He's definitely looking for something to go his team's way, and he's gonna draw for some comfort in this AR pick of his. But August gonna take away all that comfort from him and Killua, while his teammates all are able to flood on into that hill, reinforce things. ADS Gaming are gonna have to deal with this assault on 2 fronts here, as the pinch comes through, the points come through now, and Team Violence are poised to potentially take away this map on this point right here, as they do need about less than 13, 14 points now to really go their way. This is now a 10 points away from winning. This is the opening series of the championship for the Masters League, and Team Violence are about to do it. Can they do it? They're on the precipice of success here, as the nade comes through to kill 2, the team kill comes through, and it's going to be a contested point. Just one more second needs to come through. The second will not come through, as now the rotation's going to have to come through for the side of Team Violence across the map. From that point, ADS Gaming looking a bit more comfortable here, but 1 point, only 1 point will spill defeat as the 2 massive kills come in from Alu. Can they make it more, as they will get themselves the 250-166 win in this hard point to finish things off on map 4. Connie, Swish came up big, and this is that moment, the power moment that really turned the sides, in my opinion.
It's a moment that really turned me on. Definitely more towards Violence. We are going to be seeing Swish there have a nice little bit of trickery with the M4. But it was that nade, that last minute nade that ADS threw in that P4. It threw off 7 seconds there from Violence. They could not get into the P5, but they managed to in the end, of course, and win the map. But really was fighting to the very last there. I mean, of course, ADS have still got another match tomorrow. This one really, they need to win. Otherwise, you know, ADS are just going to, well, it's not ADS, but Violence are going to walk away with it comfortably. Really was, though, a showing of one thing, Chase, and it really was written in the stars. It's going to be that ADS Gaming, the better S&D team, could not outweigh the better Respawn team. Of course, that being Team Violence.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're looking at Team Violence just showing up in super impactful play, and we saw pretty much all their players turn up across the board. Unfortunately, in the end, one of these teams does have to fall, and you know, we did see, however, the armor on the side of Team Violence exposed in that search and destroy loss. Now that's an important one, but what's going to be the most important is how these teams really take these matches or these maps to from an educational standpoint, moving on into the next series they have, I believe, tomorrow. How are these teams going to prepare? Are they going to prepare? Are they going to read up on each other like we think they should? Well, like we know they should, as both as coaches, you know, for Call of Duty / analysts, we kind of know a thing or two about prep. Now, what kind of prep do you think these teams need, specifically ADS Gaming?
It's one thing asking us how these guys are going to prep, but why don't we ask them themselves? Coming up shortly, a very exclusive interview with some Team Violence players. Well, dare I say it,
Alu.
Really going to enjoy. It's going to be Alu coming in to really showcase what happened today and what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, very lucky to actually snag some of his spare time, and we'll be here shortly with that. That will be the answer to all your questions, Chase.
Hopefully, it answers quite a few questions, especially the questions going towards the massive win on the side of Team Violence, and maybe a bit of a look into their mastermind in terms of the slaying power on their team. I know him and Opposing both shared a lot of slaying, success, and then in that last one we saw Swish really come alive. But at the end of the day, we're going to give over the series MVP today to Alu, and we'll be in with him after a short little break, folks. But when we come back, we'll be in with him.
pretty comfortable. But yeah, nice one.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we have indeed, and sorry guys for the overlay stuff, but we have ourselves Alu, the man, the myth, the legend, the MVP of today's series, and could be potentially crowned the MVP of the league at the end of all things. Now, Alu, first off, before we start questioning you, we gotta all congratulate you on your success you and your team were able to grab today. So congrats.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Connie, what's the first question you'd like to ask our man Alu right here?
I think going into the grand finals, if anybody, is quite a nerve-wracking thing, especially for such a high amount of money. But for you guys, it seemed almost like natural, comfortable. You took an ADS game in today, 3-1. Of course, there is your second set of matches tomorrow, really just to tie things off or to extend to a Friday match. I just want to know exactly what was going through your head, especially through the respawns, and as to why you look so comfortable almost.
Going into today, we just our biggest enemy is ourselves. Really, to be honest. We know talent wise, we're a very talented roster. We have very knowledgeable players like Ruben and August. Some great IGLs for us, and we just went in knowing that only thing that could stop us from getting a win today and tomorrow is ourselves. Like ego challenging too much or overextending when we're not supposed to, etc.
Definitely ones to look out for as well. We were seeing that today, definitely with you guys. Of course, in the domination on Gunrunner, we were seeing a lot of overreaching, a lot of overstepping. But when ADS took the lead in the first half, you guys brought it back again. It was very, very much neck and neck and very close to the wire heading into the second half. But you just saw right away with it. I just really wanted to know exactly, what was your strategy as far as things were to in the domination on Gunrunner?
Coming to the first side, I'm pretty sure. I started with an AR. And I'm pretty sure we might have had 2 ARs. Or we really wanted to play super aggressive, but we really couldn't with that. So then, second half we made the swap, and we almost made the decision to go 5 subs. So, sometimes you just gotta get aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah. I mean, both rosters though tonight were very aggressive, but what would you say ADS is very different to, because you faced every single team with ease? Of course, Hortenti, I'm pretty sure, were the only other candidates really. One of the toughest rosters here. I'm pretty sure you've already faced them. But, ADS, are these definitely formidable opponents for you so far in the grand finals? And tomorrow, do you think you're going to be seeing more or less, definitely, more of a challenge?
Yeah, these guys are actually a lot more methodical than the rest of the teams we played in the league. These guys actually go over strats, etc. Build, their team up to what it should be. And a lot of the other teams really don't. And so I think tomorrow's going to be even a better game than it was today, because they're going to come out, on all cylinders, trying to give it everything they got.
Beautiful stuff. Now, Chase, have you got any questions here for your son, Alu?
My son. First off, Alu, I got to thank you myself individually for doing such a great job. It doesn't just, speak for yourself, but also at the beginning of the league, we both actually touched on the fact that we know each other and we had that past experience being on the same team and kind of playing underneath me kind of coaching, we can call it that. Now, you successfully were able to, change as a player. I definitely see a massive change from how you played before in Black Ops 4 all the way to here. What do you give that sort of change to, and that success now that you're finding, the more success? Are you sort of crediting that to more so your teammates that you have now on your team and that you've been working with on Violence, coming into this game, coming into now where we are with this game? Or are you going to credit a lot of that to, I don't know, watching competitive COD like CDL, maybe like some of the teachings from me and from some of the other players in the previous team you were on?
Sorry. Oh no, that's a good question. Honestly, a lot of it's my teammates. To be honest, with my teammates, a lot of it, we're not really selfish. We all, we do our own roles, and together our own roles make one. It's like Coach K says, all 5 fingers on a hand must work if they want to punch. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
That's of course. You're slapping someone. This is part of your hand, really. But as far as things are going to be it was really beautiful today to actually watch everyone play. As far as though, like you personally, Ali, I'd say definitely, Well, I mean, apart from being amazing at Call of Duty, I definitely can imagine, of course, you have other aspects in life. This is just one of the outlets in life that you're just really good at.
Yeah, I really, really like Call of Duty.
Now, I think I have another really important question, and that's sort of like what your team kind of did to prepare for this the side of ADS gaming. Like you said, they're very methodical, and they clearly practice and look at raw VOD reviewing. They tried to read up on you guys and plan for you guys. Now, what kind of planning and prep work did you guys do to kind of prepare yourselves for them?
Honestly, coming into the match and not overlooking them. I'm not gonna lie. Today we kind of went into it, I'd say, pretty on the overside of the too much confident side. We came in, kind of, really didn't warm up. Just, said, just let's just get this done, and that kind of backfired on us in the S&D. We kind of just came out flat, but thanks to Ruben, he almost kept us in it.
Now, I have two questions, and these are coming from people within chat. One being very actually important one that me and Connie haven't touched on yet and have wanted to ask you guys for a while, and that's moving on into playoffs. You guys were able to pick up a player in Swish who has replaced, I believe, Z Songs. Now, how much of an impact is he played for your team, or has he been for your team? And do you feel like, why do you think that needed to come in? Why do you think Swish needed to come in?
I think Swish needed to come in, mostly because on a team, everyone who could just fry and go off. Swish can go fry and go off whenever he wants. And he's like, this guy, he's nasty. But like with him being such an amazing pickup, is he so unselfish and so not self-centered that this guy doesn't matter what role he's a utility man. He's a guy to do it all, but he can also drop one game and give us 40. It's just a great pickup all around. He brings a great vibes. He's a great hookup. He's a good guy.
And then the second question that people are asking is ADS Gaming and their undefeated search and destroy record. Are you guys going to be able to do what other teams haven't been able to do in this league? Are you going to be able to finally beat them in S&D? Like, are you guys going to practice that S&D and come up with a really good strat for your next series tomorrow so that you guys can actually take them down and have them not finish out the league? Obviously, if you guys win tomorrow, regardless on if you win the S&D, at least not have them win the league or finish out the league with a undefeated record on S&D.
Yeah, when it comes down to S&D, they're just very, very passive players, and Respawn shows they're really passive, and in S&D it just benefits them more out of than not. So I think tomorrow we're gonna come, gonna try to ease our way into fights, not over chow, ego chow, etc. Like I said, we do that a lot, and it kind of backfires.
Okay, well, we know you guys got to get back to some practice potentially after this one, or celebrations, whichever you guys choose to do. Me and Connie are going to obviously get back to, getting ready for tomorrow and getting our prep for tomorrow. But thank you so much for tuning on in. And thank you so much, Alu, for giving us this interview at the end of things. Any last words you want to say to the fans? Because there's so many of them in chat right now for the side of Team Violence.
I just want to say shout out one man, August, my little man, my boy, my son, my nephew, my cousin, my brother, my sister, my mother, Augustus. Shout out you. Without you, I wouldn't be true. Amen.
Amen, indeed. Connie, any last words you want to say? I know that the folks at home can't see you, but we all can see you smiling wide after this cast today.
Processing the whole of the family right there. Alu just mentioned that in one player. Fair play. You gotta love it. You gotta love to see it as well. But it's been pretty good tonight. Tomorrow though should be even better. We're gonna be seeing either Violence take the crown or ADS tie it up and take us to a Friday. Thank you so much, Alu, for joining us. It's been beautiful to see you, get to know you, and good luck tomorrow. Same for ADS Gaming.
Awesome, appreciate it. See you guys.
Peace out, everybody. This has been an awesome night, and we will see you guys tomorrow for some more action between the two, and maybe, just maybe, crown ourselves Team Violence as the champions, and on top of that, could possibly see Alu lift the MVP of the league award, So see you guys all later.